Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. Stephen Clark Bradley, and this is what I think. Today, I want to talk to you about what took place yesterday, what we learned yesterday, that the Washington, D.C. Very treasonous mayor, Muriel Bowser, has secretly put together a committee to talk about removing our sacred, cherished monuments, national monuments, that belong to our forefathers and statues to many of our great heroes. That is such treachery. This shows you right there what these people are all about. That they want to destroy everything that represents the United States according to our Constitution, our history, and they want to rewrite history. Now they try to say that they want to do this because all the founding fathers were slaveholders. No, they weren't. Some of them were. But I want to know, how can they get away with that when the very person that they chose, Kamala Harris, to be the vice presidential candidate, that her great-grandfather was a slaveholder, one of the biggest slaveholders in Jamaica. He was the third most important slaveholder in Jamaica at that time. So, I mean, that was a time when slavery was legal. It's sad, it's terrible, it's a terrible scar. But no country has done more to correct its wrong and to become a more perfect union than the United States. So there is no reason for this except they hate everything about us. They hate our country. They hate what we stand for. They hate our forefathers. They hate our history. They hate you. They hate me, the Democrat-Socialist Party. They have become the party of hatred towards the United States that we love with all of our hearts. About 2 weeks ago, I did a 3-part series called the completion of Barack Obama's a fundamental transformation of America and what it would be like. I did it in 3 videos because there's a lot of information that I wanted to talk to you all about. This information yesterday, it really proves everything I said to be true. That if the fundamental transformation of America, the way Barack Obama said he wanted it 4 days before he won his first election for president, if that transpires and if that takes place, these things are going to happen all the time. They are going to rewrite our history. They're going to take away our heritage, and they're going to make our children hate America. They're already doing it in our schools. Our kids are being brainwashed every day in our schools. And now they want to take down the statues. This is unbelievable. You know, I recall back in 2017, I was at the cinema with my daughter, and we were watching the movie Spider-Man Homecoming. It's okay. But I was watching the movie, and one scene in that movie, the students from Spider-Man's school went to Washington, D.C. for the day. And I remember one of the scenes that some of the students were at the Washington Monument. And one of the students said, let's go in and look. And they said, no, I don't want to be in a building built by slaves. I know that slavery was a terrible thing. You know, I'm American Indian or Native American. My people were abused too. And our land was stolen from us. I know that. It's okay. But I love America because now today I call myself an American. That's what I am. All right? But that shows you, where did that child learn that? And why would they put that even in a movie? Because the whole idea behind the Democrat-Socialist Party today is to make America look like a racist nation. That's what they're doing. It's in our movies. It's in our schools. It's everywhere. It permeates all that liberals do today. That they're trying to create a socialist nation out of a free nation. They want to bring us all into captivity, all into oppression. And they're doing it through our kids by teaching them at a young age. It's so dangerous. And if we allow that to go on, it's going to destroy us. Let me talk to you a little bit about Black Lives Matter and what they're doing in our schools. And that's why all this idea of tearing down our monuments is coming to pass, because little by little they have brainwashed and indoctrinated our children to the point where our children see America as a bad place to live, that they prefer socialism. They know nothing about it. It's called indoctrination. Today in our schools, Black Lives Matter are all over our schools. And in a lot of our inner city schools, they have a group called Teach for America. And Teach for America is basically the academic branch of Black Lives Matter, and they're working together to teach white children to be ashamed of their race, and to teach white children that they have white privilege. As I've said before, in America there is no white privilege, there is no black privilege. There is the only one privilege. In America, we are privileged to be born here, or to come here and to become an American. And we are privileged to have all of our rights as human beings protected by our government, at least with Donald Trump. There is no white privilege, but they are indoctrinating our kids. And because of that, our kids today, they look at America as a bad country. They look at America as a racist country. And Black Lives Matter is everywhere now. It's on the roads, painted in big block letters. They named a street right by the White House, Black Lives Matter Boulevard or something like that. Everywhere. And this is nothing more than a terrorist organization. That's all it is. That Black Lives Matter and Antifa, they are both terrorist groups. And the Democrat-Socialist Party has linked together with BLM, Black Lives Matter. Because Black Lives Matter, as I said in my last video, are the brown shirts, the army, the terrorist army of the Democrat-Socialist Party to bring down our government. And it's working pretty well. And they're killing our people. Over 3 months now in Portland, Black Lives Matter and Antifa have been causing mayhem, bedlam, death, burning, looting. It's just got to be stopped. And the one man who stands up against it, Donald J. Trump, our president, he's wrong, but they're right. When this Trump supporter was killed in Portland the other night, shot point blank in the chest, dead. Everybody says nothing about him and justice for him. But the fellow who killed two and shot one because he was being beat half to death in Kenosha, he's bad. So, I mean, it's a double standard. Everybody's bad. In the first place, the guy in Kenosha should have never come there with a gun. That's a fact. I mean, he just shouldn't have. And secondly, he should have never gone there at all. He's not law enforcement. But nevertheless, he had a right to self-defense. He would have been dead had he not done it. But today, we see all this stuff happening through the brainwashing of our children, indoctrination of our children, even children who don't agree with the things they're learning at school. They're afraid to say so, that they'll be, ridiculed and put down and have no confidence in themselves because of it. You don't have to be ashamed of who you are. If you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, if you're white, or anything in between, you should be proud of who you are. Always proud of who you are. Because God made you the way you are. And God loves you the way you are. Don't listen to this stupidity. There is no country in the world as honest, as just, as balanced, as free as the United States of America. And don't let anybody ever turn you against it. This is the world we're going to have in spades if Joe Biden is elected and Kamala Harris. Joe Biden, I listened to his speech this morning. He can barely speak, talking like that. He's old. And he's in bad shape. He's mentally not sound. And he himself is a racist. He himself is a socialist. And he himself is a slave. He's a slave to Bernie Sanders. He's a slave to Kamala Harris. He's a slave to AOC. He's a slave to the Democrat-Socialist Party. And he cannot be allowed to be elected. We must re-elect Donald Trump. These are the monuments they want to take down. They want to take down the George Washington Monument. Can you believe that? It's unbelievable. That would be like 9/11 when we were attacked. when they hit the Pentagon? What would be the difference? They want to take down the Benjamin Franklin statue. What a great, wise man Benjamin Franklin. Never had a slave. He was from the North. Andrew Jackson statue, which they've already tried to. They want to take down the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. Can you believe that? One of our greatest men that ever lived in America wrote the Declaration of Independence. Our third president of the United States. Great man. They want to take down the George Mason Memorial. George Mason is called the father of the Constitution. They want it gone. And so many others. The Albert Pike statue, Christopher Columbus, Columbus Fountain, they want it gone. Francis Griffith Newland's fountain, they want it gone. You know, some of these we've never heard of, but they're important people. And they're heroes of the United States. This is what is planned in Joe Biden's America. This is what he's got planned for all of us. And it's time to make a declaration. Are we going to allow this to happen? It is my opinion that if this takes place in America, it is the same as declaring war on the United States of America by the United States government. If Joe Biden wins this election, these are the things that are going to happen. And he probably won't even know about it because he'll be probably in his nursing home. Probably move his hand to sign papers. He's senile. He doesn't know what he's doing. And he's sold himself out to the left. We can't allow it to happen. This is where America will go if Donald Trump is defeated. Donald J. Trump is the most patriotic president we have ever had. Nobody could love the United States of America more than Donald Trump does. He has done so much for the black people. He is, working on, even wants to do more for changing criminal law so they won't be in prison as long. He's done so much for our economy. I know the COVID came, but he's got so many great plans for our country to fix all that. He is the greatest president in my lifetime, and I believe the greatest president ever. Get it out of your mind that you don't like the way he acts. You're not voting for a pastor. You're voting for the leader of the free world. Someone who has to say, if you break my finger, I break your arm. We need a man like Donald Trump. He's the president of the United States, the most powerful nation in the world. We don't need a wimp or a senile guy. We need somebody who's got the wherewithal and the strength and the courage and the power and the fearlessness to be president and to stand up to these people. Look what they put him through. A fake impeachment, everything. And he still stands up and fights. He's fearless. You need to be fearless too. Don't vote for his character. Vote for what he's done for you. What he wants to do more for us and how he wants to protect us and keep our nation from disintegrating. And it will if he loses. We need to vote. And I want to ask you today, I want to ask you to declare with me that you will not let them take down our heritage, that you will consider it an act of war if they take down our monuments. And I want you to pledge with me that when they start taking down the Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, and all these other places, that you will be ready to fight. What do you think those guns are for? That's what they're for. When we're attacked, when our government is no longer fit to be supported. And if Donald Trump loses, that's right where we will be. No longer fit to be supported, that government. And it will have to be taken down, or we're all dead. Believe me, those of us who stand for the Constitution, we will be killed. We will be killed. I will be killed because I will fight. Are you ready to fight? Will you fight with me? Can we fight together? Will you stand up for the Constitution? Because if they touch our monuments, that's an act of war. That means war. Stand with me. Stand with Donald Trump. Stand with America. Stand with who you are. Stand with the United States of America. We need to fight. Don't give up. Fight back. It's our last chance. Thank you very much.